If you're looking to understand the psychology of the no contact rule, you may have been applying it for a while and are wondering whether it's working or not. You probably expected your ex to have written to you already and might be wondering, what are they thinking? Why haven't they reached out yet? And do they even miss me? Hi, I'm Gabriel, and I'm going to help you understand the psychological stages your ex goes through during no contact and what to do if no contact is not working. So, the no contact rule is currently the most prevalent way people try to get their ex back. The biggest problem with it is that it's so popular not because of its effectiveness, but because it's what a lot of people feel like doing after a breakup. Rejection hurts, there's no way around it. So, it's only natural for you to hope that giving your ex a taste of their own medicine will make them come to their senses. Unfortunately, purely doing no contact often does more damage than good. Yes, there are cases where doing no contact does have the desired effect. I will talk about them later in the video, but for the most part, it doesn't quite work out the way you would like. As someone who had an avoidant attachment style and initiated multiple breakups, I will explain the real psychology of the no contact rule based on my own experiences as well as those of my clients whom I've helped get their ex back. Let's first talk about the usual expectations when doing no contact. When people start doing the no contact rule, they generally hope that their ex will go through a transition, beginning with them thinking that the breakup was a great choice, to regretting everything about it and begging you to take them back. The consensus on the internet supports this too. Most experts will tell you that the psychology of the no contact rule looks somewhat like this. First, your ex is initially happy with their newfound freedom. But since you're doing no contact, after a while, they notice your absence and start missing you. But then they feel sad, confused, or angry as to why you are not contacting them. The tables then turn, and your ex is suddenly the one afraid of losing you and realizes that they've made a terrible mistake with the breakup. Then they call or text you, beg and plead, do whatever it takes to get you back. This is the psychological journey a lot of people hope for or even expect their ex to go through after them applying no contact. Now, I hate to break it to you, but there is a high chance that your ex is at step 3, where they are then sad, confused, or even angry as to why you're not contacting them, and they are stuck there. That is where they stop. So the sad reality is that the psychology of the no contact rule actually goes something like this. Your ex does go through the first 3 stages where they enjoy their newfound freedom, then because of you doing no contact, they start missing you, and then they feel sad, confused, or angry as to why they're not contacting them. But then, instead of them realizing their mistake and desperately trying to get you back, they might be too proud or stubborn or avoidant to take the next step of contacting you because it's vulnerable. They might be telling themselves, if it's meant to be, our paths will cross again, simply accepting their fate. Or maybe they were expecting to hear from you by now, and since they haven't, they believe that you don't care and choose to respond in kind. Or finally, they conclude that your silence means you're clearly moving on and they should too. So an ex's reaction is often a lot more nuanced and complicated than we'd like to think. Which brings us to the biggest issue with the no contact rule. It's not about solving anything. It's not about working together, understanding each other, or healing. It's about power and control. It's a silent battle where both sides wait for the other to submit. No one's reaching out, no one's trying to reconnect. Both sides are just hoping that the other will cave first. And to top it all off, not being in touch means you have little idea of what is going on for your ex, and by extension, what the next best move might be to try and get them back. And if you're finding this helpful, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more advice like this. Now, here's actually what's going on with your ex during no contact. What someone thinks and feels during no contact will heavily depend on what their reasons were for the breakup in the first place. For example, if your ex wanted to split up because they didn't believe you were a good fit or that they felt that they couldn't make you happy, then they will take you not contacting them as confirmation of all of their doubts and fears. Clearly, we didn't have a strong enough connection. I obviously couldn't make them happy. It was the right choice to end things. And even if they secretly want you back, they will likely only continue waiting and hoping that you will finally do something to prove them wrong. Similarly, if your ex broke up with you because they were unhappy in the relationship and things were not working for them, they will take your rejection, no contact, as further proof that you don't care about their well being and needs. I know it's unfair that they're the one resenting you for abandoning them when they're likely the one who decided to break up in the first place. The reason for this, however, is when someone says they want to break up, they often never fully mean it because they might be in denial about what the breakup decision truly fully entails and think of it more as a break rather than a real permanent breakup. Also, many people break up as a last resort to finally get their partner to take them seriously and come their way. Much like you might feel like cutting them off will make them miss you. So they might have broken up with you just to get you to back down and finally give them what they want. Which brings us to the question, does the no contact rule ever work? In most cases, the psychology behind the no contact rule may disappoint expectations, especially if you're doing it for 30 days or more. However, there are some exceptions where no contact can actually work very well. One is if you're doing it short term, like when you stop reaching out to your ex for a few days shortly after a fight or a breakup. Giving someone 5 to 7 days of space is often the sweet spot that can make them miss you without triggering defensive walls of resentment and denial, at which point you can reconnect and try fix things with them. Another situation where no contact works well is if your ex really demands it. Here, it might not only be beneficial, but even necessary, because your ex made it clear that they need to see that you can respect their boundaries. This is especially true if things have escalated to a point where they block you on everything, or worse, threaten with calling the police. Yes, it comes to this sometimes. So crossing their boundaries further will only make matters worse for both of you. A client of ours applied no contact successfully after her boyfriend had broken up with her because, according to him, she didn't respect his boundaries and was too needy. Initially, his rejection only triggered her more and led to her over texting, over calling, etc. After a while, he blocked her and was adamant he wanted to do no contact. When she came to us, she was distraught and in disbelief that things could end this way. But I helped her calm down and find the strength to do what her ex had asked of her. She did no contact for the 3 weeks he requested until he finally reached out, but only to demand that she comes pick up her things from his place. He didn't even want to see her, put her stuff out in boxes, and left it on his porch for her to collect. Obviously, this was an extremely difficult situation for her, but as I predicted, he was really firm about leaving no room for anything else. So upon my recommendation, she did exactly what her ex had asked her to do. She came over, got her boxes, and drove away without as much as a goodbye text. When he saw that she finally did respect his boundaries, however, he called her the very same evening and opened up about his feelings. He confessed he did miss her, but he was unsure whether he could trust her or not. But from this point onwards, they stayed in touch. She gradually rebuilt trust with him and understood more of what he wanted and needed. 2 weeks after picking up her boxes, she was already back staying over at his place again, and a week later they were back together. So in cases like these, no contact and tailored doses can definitely work. But if your situation is different, you might be wondering what to do instead. My wife and I help others get their ex back with an alternative approach we develop. This method is based on principles that worked for us. We also broke up and got back together. And for our clients, we call it the limited contact rule. The idea is to stay in touch but remain somewhat guarded and distant so that you find that sweet middle ground instead of jumping between the two extremes of doing no contact or just endlessly chasing. Gradually, you can warm up your ex by earning their trust. This way, you won't trigger their defensive mechanisms, but you also protect yourself from being taken for granted or being made to chase them. If you want to learn how to apply the limited contact rule correctly, I explain it in detail in our Get Your Ex Back program. Here you'll find detailed guidelines on what to text, how often to do it, so you come across as calm and collected when talking to your ex. We also offer tips on what to say to help them stop being so stubborn and start letting you in again gradually. So be sure to check out the link in the description for our Ex Back program. Now, if you have any doubts or questions about the psychology of the no contact rule, leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, that's all for this video. If you haven't already done so, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to stick around, and I'll link some related videos here to help you with getting your ex back.